And this guy he sort of spoiled it for me, really. And that annoyed me because they're a mystery runner for a reason, right? So they've, and then he's went online to say, I'm one of the mystery runners with the mystery touch bearers.
Mm.
And I thought, well, why would you go online to say that? Why would you say that? I don't get why you would say that because um why would you be a mystery runner just to be exposed or just to out yourself? It was like, do you remember this I think it was I think it was on Top Gear, and there was a guy called the Sting.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and he exposed it,
yeah.
and
Eventually, yeah,
yeah, and I
yeah.
thought, well, I don't want to know who you are. It sort of spoiled sort of spoiled the whole thing for me. So anyway, that's my bit about the opening ceremony of the Olympics. I don't know what you want to bring up from there,
Well, not a lot. I mean, I like you. I watched probably the second half of it.
right?
I felt a bit sorry for them with the weather. I mean, it's
Yeah.
traditional British weather, but they seem to be suffering, as the Euros were the same. I mean, there's obviously been huge monsoon rains over much of Europe this year, this
Yeah,
summer. But yeah, I mean, it was quite a good idea, I thought, to not to go in, not to do it all in a stadium because
right.
it was different. And I mean, the balloon near the end, which was lit up, was very clever.
Yeah,
The beautiful Eiffel Tower. I thought it was very good. I mean, clearly there was some controversy in some of the things they did, but I think that just needs to be glossed over, really.
yeah.
Overall, I thought they did well. I felt sorry for them. I mean, there was Nadal in that boat with Serena Williams going down the Seine River, and they didn't actually look it really, but they must have been absolutely drenched,
Yeah.
these people, running with the torches as well. So I think they put up a very good opening ceremony given the inclement weather conditions, shall we say. But yeah, I mean, I've watched some of it. I've not had too much time to watch it lately, but I always enjoy watching the athletics and the various sports games, etc., that are there. So yeah, I think it's good. It's good.
I think they had to use a football term, I think they had the English weather on loan. We don't want it. We don't want it back.
But I know they can these days. That incredible thing we often say they, who are they, but
Yeah,
they can seed when they want rain, they can
yeah.
seed the clouds, can't they? I mean, that's not some fantasy, that is a fact. They do
They can.
put things up to, but equally, I remember one time reading it, and I believe it was true, a few years ago, not that many years ago, but Paul McCartney, when he was touring, which he still
Yeah.
does, I believe, um, that that rain was threatened over. It was somewhere in Europe, and it was an open air stadium and all the rest of it. And so they actually did whatever they did to stop that rain. Now, I've kind of just begun to look into that a few times, and I can't. I know they can make it rain by seeding the clouds, but I've never found out how, if it's true, that they can stop the rain. It wouldn't surprise me if they can, but I know I definitely recall reading that McCartney's people managed to keep the evening of the concert dry and defer the rain till the next day or something. But whether they can, I don't know. But I think the rain on Friday at the Olympics was so torrential, you'd have a job. Um, but yeah, if anything, we've had a better. I mean, this week I don't know what it's like up in Bradford, but down here it's probably like the whole country, isn't it? It's been superb weather
I
this
know.
week.
It's been
Hot and
beautiful.
brilliant weather.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful weather. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, talking about sealing the rain or holding it back or whatever. I think I've seen something like that on television where this aircraft. There's an aircraft that
Mm.
flies just above the clouds, and
Mm.
it's a sort of chemical that it pumps into the clouds, and then
Yeah.
makes it rain. Yeah,
Makes it rain.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
Very clever stuff, isn't it? Really.
I have seen that. So we're almost running out of time, but I think we still got about 5 minutes. So just going back to football, Trevor. Who do you think is going to? I know it's a long shot, but any particular team? I know you said Man City, but I don't buy it. And I'm not being biased either. I just think, they've had a good run. They're meant to dip a little bit, and I'm hoping this season is when they, take a little
Mm,
bit of a dip, uh, on the losing side. But I think I actually fancy chances of a smaller team, perhaps an unknown team. Well, not unknown in that way, but unknown in the trophy scene.
mm.
I quite fancy
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I think it would be good for the game in
Yeah,
England if
I think they've had a good run. They're meant to dip a little bit, and I'm hoping this season is when they take a little
mm,
bit of a dip, uh, on the losing side. But I think I actually fancy chances of a smaller team, perhaps an unknown team. Well, not unknown in that way, but unknown in the trophy scene.
mm.
I quite fancy
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I think it would be good for the game in
Yeah,
England if the Premier League is considered pretty much the most competitive league in the world, if not necessarily the highest quality, although it is very high quality football as well.
yeah,
Yeah, I think when any one team dominates it for too long, it takes something away. And I think we say, for example, Scotland, it's always Celtic and Rangers. Certainly
yeah,
since Rangers have come back because they went down, they were fined, etc., weren't they? But it's going to be one of those two year after year. And you could say in Spain, it's going to be Barcelona or Real Madrid.
yeah,
Germany, I guess, Bayern Munich, one or two of the other teams, Italy the same. It's often the way that the leagues have a couple of teams who fight it out for the privilege of winning. And as I say, the last 8 or 9 years, it's been virtually all Man City and Liverpool for that one time. Before that, of course, we know that Leicester, right out of the blue, won it, which I think was brilliant for
yeah.
football
It
because
was.
it needed something like that to happen. I mean,
Yeah,
the incredible thing was that a lot of their fans that season, I don't know why, perhaps they do it every year, but a lot of their fans put money on that they would win the Premier League. And I think they were putting on like £50 or, quite a lot of money.
yeah,
And they ended up, because I think the odds they were massive odds. I mean, it
yeah,
was something like 25,000 to one. And a lot of fans, I remember reading, walking away when they won it with like £50,000, £100,000. And of course, ever since then, the bookies, the bookmakers, they don't give odds really above 1,000 to one. So you can put I could put £10 on Palace,
yeah.
and at least I suppose I would get £10,000, which would be
Uh-huh.
very nice, thank you. But again, not all Premier League teams will get 1,000 to one now. A lot of
Yeah,
them, that the odds will be a lot less because the bookies got their hands burned. But yeah, I do think it would be good if a team came out of the not out of the blue, but just someone like Villa. They had a good season last season. I could name probably three or four teams. I don't think Chelsea are quite there yet, settled, and I don't think Tottenham are.
yeah,
But it would be really good if a team, there or thereabouts, a top six or top eight team, actually took Man City and Liverpool, you know, to something near the end of the season to win it. It'd be
yeah,
interesting to see Liverpool, won't it? Now Klopp's gone,
yeah,
they still got most of their players. It will be very interesting to see. whether they end up near or at the top, or whether they kind of slip down a bit without the man who
Yeah,
was such a motivator for them.
yeah,
Such a great motivator. And when that person goes, the conductor of the orchestra, if you like,
yeah.
are they still going to be in the same mindset? Because
That's correct.
football, like anything else, is about mental strength so often.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's going to be a fascinating season, actually. I'm
yeah.
looking
So
forward to it.
so bring on the season. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bring on the
Absolutely.
season. Yeah. So we've had a really a good show.
Yeah.
Lovely show. Yeah. So you've been watching and listening to the football referee talk show and podcast. Um, I've been Emmy Hikins, and he calls me bruv.
And I have been Trevor Gear, and he calls me Cuz.
Right. So it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.